What's up, guys? We're back, Gold Gym. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera, so I want to get back into this and take you through a chest workout that I've been modifying recently to really sort of focus more on width. So nothing new here except sort of the training principles and some of the shocking principles that I'm using. So we'll go through that. 3-minute warm up on the rower, kind of mobilize around the joint, get the chest. I'm gonna do a little circuit now, and then we'll move on to sort of 4, maybe 5 of the big chest exercises with a focus on the width. Also, a big shout out to Harley. I've been with these guys for nearly 2 years now. Really great stuff. Definitely worth checking them out online, harley.com. And if you enter my name, Richards40, you get 40% off everything, which is pretty cool. Dual blend military green tank top, like this one, and these new Plexos pants, which you'll find out more about later. But for now, let's get into the chest workout. Really get some blood, oxygen, nutrients into the chest, mobilize all around the shoulder joint, and then we can start off pretty heavy on some incline presses. So like I mentioned, the focus of today's workout, for me at least, is to really focus on the width, the outer portion of the chest. You've seen some of my past videos. Predominantly it's focused more on the upper region, or sort of the thicker inner region, based on where I'm placing my hands or where I'm really focusing within the exercise. Within this workout, you're gonna see a lot of wide movements, a lot of fly type movements, but only following through about 1/3 of the range, so that I'm predominantly putting a lot of that stress, a lot of the work involved on the muscle as the arm opens out. So it's this area here around the sort of the insertion origin area of the muscle as we close the arm up. And that's what I'm doing with the little trio warm up here. A couple of sets of dumbbell flies, really opening them out wide to stretch open that chest, but I'm not going too heavy. 12-15 reps. Couple of dumbbell presses, can be on a flat bench, you don't need to always be on an incline. And then some lying dumbbell pullovers, a really good stretch I find for the upper pectorals. And then just finishing off 15-20 seconds of an active stretch where I can really feel that muscle start to open out. So now my chest is feeling pretty warmed up. We're gonna move on. First of our 2 compound type movements, incline bench, nice and wide. We'll spend about 4-5 sets on there. A lot of volume in this workout, but pay attention to the techniques. This isn't about just hitting 10 or 12 reps and adding some more weight on. Lots of variation with my hand placement, and also the actual range of motion that I'm going to be playing about with. So let's go over there and check that out. First set is always an intermediary warm up for me on any exercise, especially if it's the first of that main exercise for that muscle group. So now is sort of the next 3 or 4 sets of my main working sets. The goal here is to bring about muscle failure, not fatigue, which is basically tiredness, but failure, the most at which that muscle can handle. And I'm gonna keep the weight about the same, but really change up both my hand grip, the width of it, not so much underhand, I'm keeping it overhand, and then also the range of motion. And by that I mean, especially when it comes to the outer pectoral here, this is really activated and involved during the low descent, the stretch, and then really about 1/3 or at most 2/3 of the way up. As you start to fully extend the arms and engage the chest, it's more the main width, the bulk of the pectoral that starts to really come in and kind of contract. So lots of this sort of 2/3 of the motion, taking it both wide and more of a neutral grip. I know some people, I've heard them say, it doesn't really matter where you place your hands. It does. If your hands are more neutral in this position, or close together, or wide, it is going to have an impact on how the muscle is worked. So think about that next time you're doing an exercise, and try placing your hands at different widths and just see how it feels on the muscle. All right, that's our weight. Now, for those of you who perhaps need a spot but feel a little awkward asking, here's how you do it. You find the biggest guy. Hey, big man, can you spot me for a couple of reps? We're doing a little video and
you mean for you?
Yeah, that's how you do it. I'm going super wide here. So I have no strength, but it's more the decline, the descent that I'm doing.
Definitely.
So just...
should we keep my hands on it? Or?
Yeah, probably. Nice, thank you.
Focus here.
Get some added motivation too.
Oh yeah, baby. Come on, we got this. You're doing tight here.
Just help me lift off.
Up.
Okay, my bad.
Focus here, come on. And drive. Good, come on.
That's how you do it. Now listen, joking aside, the benefit of having a spot allows you to push your muscles and your mind beyond what you normally do. If we're training on our own, which often I am, or even with a training partner, if we're doing back and forth, I'm often lifting to the most at which I can manage, which is always that press. It's a little bit different on a Smith machine or a machine, but when it comes to using free weights, which is really sort of at the cornerstone of any muscle building and strength training program, because you need to be able to support and manage all of that weight without any machine or rigging on the Smith machine. So going heavy on here, allowing a spotter to assist you with that lift back up, and then you are 100% managing that weight down, resisting against it. I'm not just letting it fall down. That's really works my chest here. So I'm not gonna get any better than that. That's my peak. I'm gonna move on, focus on the machine now, and once again bring back into that sort of 1/3 of the range of motion with as wide of a grip as I can. And we'll start to mix it up with a little bit more dumbbell and fly type movements. Now, of course, I'm always talking about free weights and the benefit of using free weights, but machines do have their place too, especially if they're set up correctly for the purpose of your training. And what I'm doing here is using a little back rest. So now that I'm a little further forwards, so I can get a nice deep stretch to once again work the muscle through its entire range of motion and not just where most machines end without a full stretch. Fortunately, on this machine, you can adjust the arms, but obviously not every machine in every gym allows this. One tip about this particular machine is I'm gonna keep my elbows high. So it's almost coming into a front deltoid exercise, but as you'll see, a lot of the upper pectoral and front delt especially is using this. So whilst I've still got some strength, we're gonna work it. Normally when you see me train, I'm just drenched. It's been really hot this summer. Starting to cool down now, but with it being California, it still doesn't get really cold. I'm surprised I'm not drenched already. Starting to. But that's what I was talking about with these Plexos pants from Hiley. Let me pull them down. I normally wear them up like that. Normally when I wear tracksuit bottoms or pants, it's always sweaty around here, especially around my knees, and I just look like I've been out running. These, different material, breathe easy. They don't sweat around here, which is great, even on leg day. They're actually the warmest pants I have ever done, which is funny, because like I said, California doesn't really get cold, but I know a lot of you guys are training now that we're coming into autumn or fall, winter. Got to keep the legs warm, so check these out. You can get 40% off of these as well. Usual things you'd expect, drawstring pants, couple of slimline pockets here, and then one thing I found this morning, little concealed zip there, so keys, money, whatever you might need. Normally these, if they're on the back pocket, they stick in your butt whenever you sit down and press, but these don't have them. So plus getting into the leather car seats, I hate it when the zipper scratches the leather. So all right, enough about these pants. Let's finish off final set here, and then we can move on, start to work in some fly type movements to once again open out that chest, really stretch it, working the outer portion of the pecs. Can you guess what we're doing here? I'll give you a clue. It's not full range of motion. Sticking with the same weight again. We're gonna move the bench up a click on each work set, and to the best that I can, all the way out, and I'm gonna bring it back up until about here. So I'm not fully closing the arms, where I can really squeeze and engage that chest once the weight is basically supported above my chest with my arms pretty much locked out. With this, I'm gonna stop with full tension on that chest, and guess where it's gonna be? More towards the outer area of the chest, which is pulling that arm up. The inner portion here only really starts to come in once the arms are about there, and therefore you can really contract that chest in the upper portion. So we're gonna stick with the wide lower region of this exercise. One of the great things I love about doing these videos is to really showcase you exactly what I'm doing. I'm not just talking about a muscle or an exercise and then showing you it with the setup that we've got here, which I'll show you. Look, let's bring the camera around, turn it around. Here we go. So this whole camera on a gimbal is how we get those really smooth movements walking around. I can jump. We get the 360 stuff. It really gives you not just a bird's eye view, but a complete circumference around the exercise. And this guy here, Josh Morgan, Momentum Productions, been doing all of the video for, all right, and let's take it off you again. Let's take it back over here. Take it back over the exercise. As I was saying, we've been doing these videos for, man, two and a bit years now. Yeah. So a lot of this content is generated from comments, suggestions, basically just to show that hopefully what we're putting out there is of use to you. And if there's something else that you want to see more of, or you want more engagement, you know, these videos are a way that I get to put out something I'm very passionate about. Josh gets to create some really kick-ass videos, to be honest, and hopefully you guys get to see, learn, and even if it's only one bit from an entire video that might benefit your training and progress you towards your goal, then I say we're winning. But let us know, you know, like, subscribe, follow Josh as well. He's doing some crazy stuff outside of the gym, and we'll continue doing these training videos as long as you guys want them. So don't know if you could see that. I think you can walking around, but the range at which I'm going, for many people I realize it's, but that's too deep, you shouldn't open out the arms that much. Why not? The body can do it. I'm not taking it all the way back here. I'm overloading that muscle with resistance. So I'm resisting that weight, that force, but I'm going as wide and as deep as I feel I can manage. Of course, some people may have to increase their flexibility over time, both through the exercises, through some stretching, and just again, with training over time, you start to become a little bit more limber and flexible. Enough talking, let's move on. 2 more exercises. We're gonna superset these. So one exercise immediately followed by another with no rest in between. We're not gonna be focusing on a lot of weight. So parallel bar dips, and then various angles of the cable fly. Once again, focusing on that sort of outer area of the chest, which is really feeling nice and free at the moment. So let's see if we can take it up a notch on these 2 exercises. Dumbbell between the legs, so resistant dips. And then once I've hit failure, I'm gonna drop the weight down and just do a full extension parallel bar dips. And you'll see I'm tilting forwards at the waist, which I find hits more the lower region of the chest. But again, focusing on that third range of the motion, I can really feel it in the outer region. There's a ton of different ways to work it, but that outer pec, when you get it right and you get that tying from that delt and the bicep and the tricep, for me at least, that's always been the appeal of bodybuilding. And I say bodybuilding like that because I think like a bodybuilder. Blatantly, I'm not a bodybuilder compared to the bodybuilders, but their mentality, their structure, the logic behind a lot of the training and the training principles, I've always been a fan of. So, you know, I am a bodybuilder. I'm just not pushing it up to that level. But it's that appeal of getting all of the muscle groups looking proportional, looking like they all fit together, and basically not having all of the size and the bulk, so that, you know, with a dress shirt on or a jacket, a coat, you don't look like you might work out much. But when you're in the gym, which for me is it's my second home, I feel very comfortable here. It's my domain. When I'm in my element, my zone, and I'm training, that's sort of where everything comes together, which I'm sure is the same for many of you people too. But let me know, comment below. We are down to the lowest setting now. Kind of a low cable fly. With this one, it's gonna go straight into a full range of motion, mainly because of the angle isn't stressing the upper outer pectorals as much as when the arms are coming down low. So just for variety and to make sure that I'm not missing out on the lower region. And that is the end of the workout. A little bit of a different approach to the exercises. Nothing new as far as the exercises really. Not a crazy amount of sets or volume or drop sets, but just that emphasis on a little bit wider and stopping before fully contracting that muscle through the full range of motion. I really can feel it up here. On that note, I would like to get back to doing these videos, so let me know that you like them. Like or comment or follow. We'll get some more videos out next week hopefully, and try and continue this sort of muscle group focus with a focus on a particular region of it. Big thank you to Josh as well. You can see, let's turn the camera around again. One more, this amazing setup and full mic. So a lot of the times you'll see YouTube videos, I know I've had them in the past, where the audio is really crackly. You can't often hear, the camera's always out of focus. The fact that we don't have that anymore is thanks to the level of equipment. So thank you to Josh for doing that, and Momentum Productions. And finally, Hailey for basically just sending me a bunch of cool clothes and giving you guys 40% off anything. So once again, Riches40. I'll post something in the description below. If you're interested, go check them out. Use my name, you get nearly 50% off. And this is the dual blend tank top, nice and lightweight, and the Plexos pants, which are really comfy, actually. So on that note, thank you for watching. Go put a lot of this into action within your workouts, and don't forget, I've got, I think, nearly 500 videos now on YouTube. 500, yeah, 500. Nutrition, training, everything broken down into muscle groups. So if you've got any questions, just go onto my page, search it first. If it's not there, we'll try and bring those answers to light next time. So thank you again. I'm gonna go cool down. See you guys soon. Take care.